Buckle up, everybody, because we are going deep today.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Yeah, really strap yourselves in. We have got a wild ride ahead of us through a whole bunch of news stories that you may have seen this week.
Yeah, I mean, from the world of celebrity engagements to some pretty eyebrow-raising political stories, and then even a heartwarming story about the real-life donkey who inspired Shrek.
And even some tech news, too.
Oh, and tech, of course.
Yeah, so a little bit of everything today, so you're definitely going to want to stick around for this one.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's kick things off in Hollywood with some bling, shall we? Zendaya and Tom Holland are engaged.
No way.
Yes, way. Apparently, their on-screen romance has blossomed into a real-life fairy tale.
I mean, they're both really talented actors.
Yep.
And to see them find love on set, that's got to be pretty magical.
Yeah, it is. I mean, can you imagine, working with someone that you're attracted to and then actually falling in love with them?
Oh, I mean, it's like living out a movie.
It is. It is. And speaking of love stories, did you hear about General Hospital star Steve Burton's engagement?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Isn't his character on the show in the middle of like a big romance?
It is a case of life imitating art, because his character is in the middle of this big dramatic love affair.
Wow, that's wild.
It really is. And, while we're on the topic of big wins, congratulations are in order for Abby Stockard, the newly crowned Miss America.
Miss America, huh? You think about these competitions and how they've evolved over the years.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like, they used to just be about, beauty and talent, but now you see them focusing more on, intelligence and social impact and stuff.
Yeah, they've really shifted away from, the swimsuit competition and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's way more about empowering women and using their platform to make a difference, which is pretty cool, I think.
It is. It's interesting to see how those things have changed. And, while we're talking about things changing, can you believe that if the kids from the show Friends were real, they would be all grown up now?
Oh my gosh, you're right. They would be like adults.
They would be adults. Monica and Chandler's twins would be turning 21 this year.
Wow. That makes me feel old.
We too. And it makes you think about, all these shows that we grew up with and how the characters would have aged.
Right. Like, what would they be doing now? Would Ross and Rachel still be on again, off again?
Oh, I'm sure they would be.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be Friends without it.
So true. True.
So, all right, well, let's take a break from Hollywood and journey over to the culinary world, because there's a story that's making waves.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay, so picture this. A gigantic bluefin tuna
Okay.
weighing in at a massive 600 pounds.
That's huge.
That's about the size of a motorcycle. Just sold for a staggering $1.3 million at a Tokyo fish market.
$1.3 million for a fish.
For bluefin fish.
I mean, I knew bluefin tuna was like a delicacy, but that's insane.
It is insane. So what do you think is driving those prices?
I mean, it's definitely partly about supply and demand, right? Like, bluefin tuna is overfished, so there's not a lot of it out there. And then you have these high-end sushi restaurants and, wealthy connoisseurs who are willing to pay top dollar for it.
Yeah, it's definitely a status symbol too, right?
Yeah.
Like to be able to say that you had that.
For sure. It's like the ultimate bragging rights for like a foodie.
Exactly. Now, for a story that's a little bit more down to earth and maybe a little bit sweeter.
Okay. I like where this is going. Krispy
Kreme and Pop-Tarts.
What?
Yes, are teaming up to create a line of Pop-Tart inspired donuts.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm serious. They're going with all the classics: frosted strawberry chocolate fudge and brown sugar cinnamon.
Oh my God. I'm drooling just thinking about it.
Right. Like the combination of like the flaky crust of the Pop-Tart and the soft doughy donut.
Oh, it's just pure genius. Like, I love how they're tapping into our nostalgia too.
Yeah.
Like bringing back those childhood memories.
Oh, yeah. It's so smart. It's like you can't not want to try it.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's shift gears now and head over to the political arena, because there's been some pretty significant news coming out of Canada. Justin Trudeau announced his resignation as leader of the Liberal Party.
Wow, that's big news. I mean, he's been prime minister for, 8 years now?
Yeah, a long time. And he's going to stay on as prime minister until they choose a successor.
Okay, so what do you think this means for Canadian politics? Like, who's going to step up and take his place?
Well, that's the big question, right? It'll be interesting to see who emerges as the front runner and what their vision for Canada looks like. Whether they'll continue with Trudeau's policies or try to shake things up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a change in leadership, it creates this, ripple effect.
It does. And speaking of shaking things up, Kim Jong-un has been busy making headlines with some rather unusual bans in North Korea.
Oh, yeah. What's he up to now?
Well, first he outlawed hot dogs. declared them too Western.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
What's so Western about a hot dog?
I don't know. But apparently in North Korea, they're a symbol of Western decadence. And if you're caught selling or eating them, the consequences are pretty severe.
Wow. Talk about a culture clash.
Yeah, it is. And it really makes you think about how different life is in other parts of the world. And as if banning hot dogs wasn't enough. Kim Jong-un also banned divorce.
Wait, he banned divorce?
Banned divorce.
Yeah.
So in North Korea, if you get married,
Yeah.
you're in it for life.
That's intense. I mean, what's the reasoning behind that?
Well, I mean, it's North Korea, so their official statements are, always a little bit hard to decipher. But some experts believe that it's part of Kim Jong-un's efforts to, strengthen traditional family values and kind of tighten his control over society.
Right, like if people are unhappy in their marriages, they can't just leave. It's like they're trapped.
Exactly.
Wow, that's heavy stuff.
It is. And, while we're talking about things that might make you want to stay single, let's jump back to the world of tech, because there's a merger that's shaking things up in the streaming world. Hulu Plus Live TV and Fubo are joining forces.
Oh, wow. That's pretty big news. I mean, both of those services are pretty popular.
They are. And now that they're merging, they're going to be like a major player in pay TV market.
Yeah, like a real threat to cable companies.
Exactly.
Good.
And you know what else is happening in the world of tech? The Consumer Electronics Show is in full swing in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, CES. That's where all the cool new gadgets are unveiled, right?
Exactly. It's like a glimpse into the future. Like, what kind of technology are we going to be using in the next few years?
Yeah, I always love seeing the crazy innovations they come up with. Like, remember that year they had the self-driving pizza delivery car?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And the robot dog that could do backflips.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
So what are some of the highlights this year?
Well, I'm hearing a lot of buzz about virtual reality and artificial intelligence.
Makes sense. I mean, those are like the two biggest trends in tech right now.
They are, and they're just going to keep getting bigger.
For sure.
All right, well, let's wrap things up on a heartwarming note. Remember Donkey from Shrek?
Oh, yeah, of course. Who doesn't love Donkey?
Well, he was actually inspired by a real-life donkey named Perry.
Really?
Yeah, and sadly, Perry passed away recently at the age of 30.
Oh, that's so sad. But it's also kind of cool to think that he was the inspiration for such an iconic character.
It is. And what's even cooler is that Perry was actually paid for his modeling services.
He got paid.
Yeah, he received a weekly wage of $75.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is. I love that story. And sadly, we have to end on a bit of a controversial note. Sports commentator Skip Bayless is facing accusations from a former Fox Sports hairstylist.
Oh, no. What happened?
But the details are still a little bit murky. But the allegations are pretty serious, and they involve some potentially concerning issues in the workplace.
Yeah, that's never good. I mean, it's important for everyone to feel safe and respected at work.
Exactly. And it's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds.
For sure.
Well, that was quite a whirlwind of news, wasn't it?
It was. We covered everything from Hollywood engagements to North Korean hot dog bans.
And everything in between.
I mean, it just goes to show you that there's never a dull moment in this world.
Never a dull moment. And it leaves us with a lot to think about, doesn't it?
It does. It makes you wonder, how are all these seemingly random events connected?
Right. Like, how do they all fit together to create this crazy tapestry of life?
It's a mystery.
It is. And it's one that we'll keep exploring. On that note, we'll leave you with a final thought. What story from today's deep dive resonated with you the most? What left you thinking, Share your thoughts with us in the comments, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the news that matters.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.